Your future is created by what you do today, not tomorrow. This simple truth is often overlooked as we rush through life, waiting for the right time to change. But the reality is, the time to act is now, before 2026 begins. If you want a better year, it starts with the choices you make today. Are you ready to face the facts about your life? Are you willing to stop making excuses and start taking control? Before the new year arrives, it's critical to pause and evaluate where you stand. Are you living honestly with yourself? Are you clear about what's holding you back? Success isn't about luck or waiting for perfect conditions. It's about doing the right things consistently and deliberately. This video will walk you through 5 essential steps that demand courage and honesty, but will set you on a path to real change. These aren't just ideas to think about. They are actions that will prepare you to step into 2026 stronger, smarter, and more focused. If you're serious about growth and ready to leave behind what no longer serves you, then this is the moment. Let's get started. Number 1, check who you are becoming when no one's watching. You know, most people spend their lives pretending. Pretending they're okay. Pretending they've got it figured out. Pretending they're working hard. But the real question that changes everything is simple. Who are you becoming when no one's watching? That's not a fancy question. It's a real one. One that makes you pause. One that doesn't care about your job title, your followers, or your money. It cares about your character, your choices when nobody is clapping, your effort when no one is looking, your discipline when there's no praise. Because that's where success is built, quietly, privately, alone. Every person I've seen who changed their life didn't do it on a stage. They did it in silence. They did it in the hours no one talks about. When the room was still, when the world was asleep, when the feeling of quitting was louder than the desire to keep going. That's when it happens. So if you want to make 2026 the year where you don't repeat the same regrets, where you don't say this year went too fast again, then you've got to stop performing. You've got to start becoming. You need to check your habits when no one's around. Do you grab your phone first thing in the morning? Or do you sit in silence and ask yourself what matters today? Do you give your time away to distractions? Or do you use it to build something real? Do you lie to yourself about your progress? Or are you facing the truth every single day? This is not about perfection. It's about honesty. It's about doing the work when no one is cheering. It's about becoming the kind of person who doesn't need a crowd to stay consistent. If you only do good things when people are watching, you don't want change, you want applause. But if you do the hard things when no one knows, that's when you're becoming the real thing. Check who you are when your phone dies and the noise stops. Are you restless? Are you lost? Are you clear? That feeling right there is feedback. It tells you what you need to fix. It tells you if your path is solid or if you've just been pretending all year long. I've known men who spoke like kings in meetings and cried alone at night because they knew they were lying to themselves. I've met women who looked perfect online but couldn't sleep because their mind was screaming the truth. You can't outrun your own reflection. You can fake everything else, but you can't fake your private self. So sit down with yourself. No music, no scrolling, no distractions. Just sit. Ask the questions no one ever dares to ask. Am I proud of how I show up daily? Am I doing the right things when I'm tired? When I'm stressed? When no one would ever find out? That version of you is the real one, and it's the only one that decides your future. Don't worry about what people think you are. Worry about what your own soul knows you are. People praise results, but what builds results is never seen. It's the skipped parties. It's the quiet mornings. It's the cold showers. It's the lonely nights where you stayed in and read when you could have gone out and wasted another night. Your life changes when your private world becomes stronger than your public image. When your character starts leading your life, not your feelings. Before 2026 begins, check your private habits. Are you eating like someone who respects their body? Are you speaking to yourself like someone who believes in their future? Are you staying committed even when it's not fun anymore? If not, don't feel bad, feel aware. Because awareness is the beginning of real change. Ask yourself, what are you doing when no one texts you back? When no one notices your effort? When your goals feel far away? What do you do then? That's who you are. That's what builds your next chapter. People will tell you to dream bigger, but what they don't tell you is that dreams fall apart if your private life is broken. You can't expect a successful year if your daily choices are weak and dishonest. You can't expect self-respect if you keep quitting on yourself in the dark. So take a breath and look in the mirror, not the physical one, the mental one, the one where your self-image lives. Ask it this: are you doing the hard things when no one is watching? If the answer is no, that's your assignment. Make this the season where you don't just show others your goals. Make it the season where your quiet actions speak for you. The workout no one saw, the apology no one heard, the plan you followed without sharing it. That's power, that's maturity, that's control. People with discipline in private become people with success in public. And this isn't about becoming someone else. It's about becoming the version of you that you've been avoiding. The version that doesn't look for shortcuts. The version that doesn't hide behind busyness. The version that's not afraid to admit what needs to change. The truth is, if you don't check who you are becoming in private, life will do it for you. And when it does, it won't be soft. Life gives harsh lessons to people who avoid small decisions, but it also rewards those who sharpen their character in silence. You know exactly what needs to change. You've known for a long time. You've just been hoping you could ignore it and still win, but you can't. That's the truth. The longer you avoid facing yourself, the longer you'll stay stuck. Start showing up in private like the person you keep saying you want to be. Not tomorrow, not when you feel like it. Now, every day that passes without action is a step away from who you were born to be. You want to feel proud? Then stop needing people to see your progress. Make peace with the grind no one claps for. Celebrate the invisible wins. That's what grows your confidence. Not likes, not praise, not hype. Discipline, integrity, consistency, alone. Before 2026 gets here, get real with yourself. Turn off the noise. Get rid of what's fake. Look at your decisions when no one is watching and ask, is this helping me or hurting me? If it's helping, do more of it. If it's hurting, stop doing it. That's the formula. Nothing complicated, just real effort, quiet effort. Success doesn't come from being perfect. It comes from being real. And the most real thing you can do is hold yourself to a standard when no one's around to check. So today, start with this. Who are you becoming when no one's watching? Because that person, not the one in public, not the one online, not the one in front of a camera, that private version of you is the one that will build or break your 2026, and the choice is still in your hands. Number 2, ask yourself why you're still stuck right now. You've made it this far, and yet something inside you knows you're still stuck. Maybe your days look busy, your mind feels full, and your time seems spent. But deep down you know you haven't moved. Not really. Not the way you should have. Not the way you told yourself you would at the start of this year. And now the question is simple but powerful. Why are you still stuck right now? You don't have to say it out loud, but you do have to be honest. Because this is the kind of question that doesn't go away until you answer it with action. You can ignore it, scroll past it, drown it in entertainment, or cover it with fake motivation. But the truth will wait for you. And if you don't face it before 2026 begins, it's going to follow you again. Being stuck doesn't always mean failure. Sometimes it means you've been afraid to change, afraid to start, afraid to admit that what you're doing is no longer working. And that fear doesn't announce itself. It hides in your routine. It hides in the way you distract yourself. It hides in how you keep putting things off until tomorrow. But you can't afford another cycle of pretending. You can't afford another year of talking about change, but living the same. So take this moment right now, not later, not next week, not when you feel ready, but now. And ask yourself, why am I still stuck? You'll hear excuses come up. You'll hear I've been busy. It's not the right time. I'm waiting for the right moment. And that's fine. But those aren't real reasons. They're protective lies we tell ourselves to feel safe. The real reasons are usually deeper and quieter. Maybe it's a lack of belief. Maybe you don't think you deserve better. Maybe you're afraid you'll fail again. Maybe you're scared of what people will say if you actually try this time and still don't make it. But ask yourself this. Has staying stuck been any safer? Has it felt any better? Has repeating the same cycle protected your peace, or has it robbed you of purpose? You see, being stuck is not just about your actions, it's about your thoughts. It's about your internal conversations. It's about what you tell yourself in those private moments when no one else is around. And if you're honest, you'll see that most of what's holding you back isn't outside of you, it's within. It's the way you shrink your potential because someone once made you feel small. It's the way you wait for motivation to push you, instead of building the discipline to move on your own. It's the way you've gotten used to being disappointed, so you stop expecting more from yourself. That mindset will keep you trapped forever if you don't interrupt it. You've got to look at your days and ask, what am I doing that's keeping me here? Maybe you're spending hours on things that don't build you. Maybe you're surrounded by people who settle for less. Maybe you've accepted a version of yourself that doesn't even feel real to you anymore. Maybe you're numb because you've stopped dreaming. Maybe deep down you've just given up trying, but that's not the end. That's the beginning of a shift. When you finally stop lying to yourself and start facing the truth, that's when you get your power back. That's when you stop being a victim of your own life and start being the builder of it. It's not about doing something huge today. It's about being real with yourself for the first time in a long time. Why haven't you made progress? Why haven't you started that goal? Why haven't you left that toxic space? Why haven't you changed your habits? Not because you can't, not because you don't know how, but because some part of you still believes you can wait. You can't. Time is moving with or without you. 2026 is coming, and if you're still stuck in the same place when it arrives, that's no longer a problem of time, that's a problem of truth. You can only move when you face what's holding you back. You've got to be willing to tear away every excuse and stand face to face with the real reason. That may mean admitting that you've been lazy, that you've been scared, that you've been too distracted, that you've been trying to look successful more than actually doing the work, that you've been talking big but living small, that you've been wasting time, and you don't have to tell anyone that. But you do have to tell yourself, because you can't build a new year on top of the same broken patterns. Ask yourself right now, what am I doing each day that keeps me exactly where I am? Be brutally honest. Are your habits building you or breaking you? Are your surroundings lifting you or draining you? Is your self-talk pushing you or holding you back? Once you see it, you can't unsee it, and that's good. That's how growth starts. You see, being stuck feels heavy, but it's not permanent. It becomes permanent when you stop asking questions, when you stop reflecting, when you stop caring. So the fact that you're even asking means you're ready to move, you're ready to change, you're ready to stop wasting time and start living with purpose again. But you have to stop waiting for perfect conditions. You have to stop waiting for confidence to show up. You build confidence by doing. You get unstuck by acting, not by overthinking. You shift by choosing different actions every day, small ones, simple ones, real ones. Turn your phone off for an hour and work on something that matters. Say no to one thing that steals your focus. Go to bed earlier. Wake up earlier. Be present in your life. Speak up for yourself. Write down your real goals, not the ones that sound nice, but the ones that actually make you feel alive. Start taking them seriously. You can't control the past. You can't go back and redo the last 6 months, but you can make today the start of a real comeback. You can decide right now that being stuck ends with you, that you won't carry this feeling into another year, that you won't let fear make your decisions anymore, that you won't look back again and say, I should have started sooner. Everything changes when you stop making peace with the place that's holding you back. You know what's not working. You know what's keeping you stuck. You've known. The only thing left is to make a new choice. Not a perfect choice, not a huge leap, just a real one. One honest action, one bold step. Don't wait for another Monday. Don't wait for 2026 to rescue you. Rescue yourself today. And if you do that, if you face this moment and make a real shift, you won't just enter 2025 differently. You'll become different. You'll stop repeating and start rising. You'll stop existing and start living. You'll finally move, and that is how you break free. Number 3, write down what hurts and deal with it. You carry it every day, even when you pretend you don't. You hide it well, maybe behind your work, your silence, your smile, or your distractions. But deep down, it's there. The pain, the disappointment, the memory, the thing you haven't fully faced yet. Maybe it happened years ago. Maybe it happened recently, but it's been sitting inside you like a weight that never goes away. And now is the time to write it down and deal with it. There is something powerful about putting pain into words. When it stays in your mind, it controls you. It shows up in your thoughts, your reactions, your energy, your choices. It affects the way you trust people, the way you see yourself, and the way you respond to the world. It becomes part of your identity without permission. But when you stop and write it down, when you take the time to face it, you take back the control. You don't have to show it to anyone. You don't have to explain it. But you do have to be honest. What is still hurting you? What are you carrying that you've never let go of? What are you avoiding that keeps eating away at your peace? Maybe someone betrayed you. Maybe they left without explanation. Maybe someone you trusted disappointed you. Maybe you failed at something that mattered. Maybe you let yourself down. Maybe life hit you when you weren't ready. Whatever it is, if you don't face it, it doesn't go away. It just gets quieter, but it still moves your decisions. You might be wondering why you overreact to small things, why certain situations make you angry, sad, anxious, or numb. The answer often sits in what you haven't dealt with, what you've avoided, what you've suppressed. That's why you need to write it down. Not to stay stuck in the past, not to feel sorry for yourself, but to understand what's been living under the surface, because what you don't deal with, you end up becoming. And if you keep burying it, it will come out somewhere else. Through your habits, your relationships, your attitude, your energy. Sit in a quiet place with just a notebook and a pen, no music, no distractions, just silence, and start writing. What happened? How did it make you feel? What did you lose? What did you learn? Be real with yourself. Don't filter it. Don't sugarcoat it. You deserve the truth. You might cry. You might feel angry. You might feel nothing at all at first, but keep writing, because eventually the truth will show up on the page. The part of you that you've ignored will finally speak. This is how healing begins, Not through running away, not through pretending, but through facing the pain, naming it, and choosing to move forward from it, not around it. Some people try to heal by numbing themselves. They scroll for hours, drink too much, stay busy, keep fake smiles, distract themselves with shallow connections. But that doesn't heal anything. It only delays the pain. And when the noise fades, the silence screams louder. You're not weak for being hurt. You're human. But staying hurt forever without dealing with it, that's what breaks people from the inside. That's what turns good hearts cold. That's what turns ambition into apathy. And you're not meant to live stuck like that. Writing it down is not about reliving pain, it's about releasing it. When you put it on paper, it stops floating in your mind. You give it a place, and when it has a place, you can start to move beyond it. Ask yourself this: what have I been avoiding? What pain have I buried so deep that I no longer talk about it, but I still feel it? Who hurt me that I still think about in quiet moments? What failure do I still punish myself for in secret? What words were said to me that I never forgot? When you write it down, you stop pretending that you're fine. You stop lying to yourself. And that honesty is where strength begins. Because once you face it, you can work through it. Maybe you need to forgive someone, not for them, but for your peace. Maybe you need to forgive yourself. Maybe you need to admit that something still affects you more than it should. That's okay. You're not supposed to have it all together. You're just supposed to be honest enough to work on it. Dealing with it might mean making a decision, setting a boundary, letting go, having a conversation, seeking help, or simply deciding that this pain will no longer run your life. But it starts with awareness, and that awareness starts with writing, with being still long enough to listen to yourself, with being brave enough to ask, what do I need to face before this year ends? What do I need to release before 2026 begins? Because you can't carry old pain into a new year and expect new results. You can't heal in the same environment where you got hurt. You need space. You need truth. You need courage. You don't have to fix everything today, but you do have to stop running. You have to stop hiding from the thing that has been silently running your life. Every time you bury your pain, it shows up somewhere else, in your doubts, in your fears, in the way you stop trying, in the way you don't let people get close, in the way you avoid responsibility, in the way you sabotage your own progress. But once you deal with it, everything changes. You start showing up differently. You stop reacting and start choosing. You stop living from pain and start living from purpose. This process is not comfortable. It's not fun, but it's freeing and it's necessary. If you want to walk into the next year stronger, clearer, more focused, you have to make peace with what's been haunting you. Some of the people you miss weren't meant to stay. Some of the things you lost were protection. Some of the failures taught you more than success ever could, but you can't see any of that if you don't face it head on. Write it all down, let it out, then breathe. And when you're done, look at what's on that paper and say to yourself, this no longer owns me, because it doesn't have to. You can be free, but freedom isn't found in avoidance. It's found in truth, and truth always starts with a decision to stop pretending. You don't need a perfect past to build a powerful future. You just need the honesty to say, I've been hurt, but I'm healing. I've been down, but I'm not done. I've been holding this pain for too long, and now I'm ready to let it go. 2026 is not a magic solution, it's just a number. What makes it different is what you bring into it or what you leave behind. So leave behind the pain you've buried. Let go of the weight you've carried for too long. And finally, give yourself the permission to move forward. You owe yourself that. Not tomorrow, not someday, but now, before another year begins. Before more time slips away, write down what hurts and deal with it. Not because it's easy, but because you're worth it. Number 4, look in the mirror and be brutally honest. Today, stand in front of the mirror today and don't look away. Don't fix your hair. Don't adjust your shirt. Don't fake a smile. Just stop and look. Look into your own eyes and ask yourself the question most people are too afraid to face. Am I really who I say I am? This isn't about appearance. It's not about what other people see. It's about whether the person staring back at you is honest, strong, consistent, or just pretending to be. Too many people avoid this moment. They live years without ever facing themselves. They keep busy, stay distracted, surround themselves with noise. Because if they get quiet enough and still enough to really look at who they've become, it might shake them, and maybe it should. This moment matters because it tells the truth, and you can't change what you refuse to admit. The mirror never lies. It reflects exactly who you are when no one's listening. That's the person you need to meet today. Not the one who posts online, not the one who speaks well in public, not the one who knows all the right words, the one who lives in silence, the one who wakes up with you, the one who goes to bed with you, the one who feels everything you try to ignore. If you want to make 2026 different, this is where it starts. With honesty, with confrontation, with brutal self-awareness. That doesn't mean beating yourself up. It means facing the facts you've been avoiding. Are you really giving your best or just doing enough to get by? Are you really disciplined or just disciplined when it's convenient? Are you truly focused or are you constantly running from what matters? Look at your habits, your routines, your choices, your energy. They will all tell you the truth. If you're waking up late, eating poorly, procrastinating, skipping workouts, avoiding deep work, tolerating toxic environments, making excuses, blaming others, then you don't need motivation. You need to get real. Because the person you are becoming is shaped by these daily decisions. Not once a week, not once a month, every single day. Stop defending your patterns. Stop explaining away your laziness. Stop acting like you don't know what the problem is. You do. You've known for a while. You've just been hoping it'll fix itself. But it won't. Nothing fixes itself. You have to step in and take ownership. The truth is, the mirror is your best accountability partner. It won't lie to protect your feelings. It won't flatter you to make you feel better. It won't tell you what you want to hear. It tells you what you need to hear. And what you do after that moment, that's what defines you. Maybe you've let yourself down this year. Maybe you broke your own promises. Maybe you haven't followed through on the things you said mattered most. That hurts. But denying it doesn't help. You need to sit with it and then rise from it. Don't run from the feeling of disappointment. Use it. Let it remind you that you're capable of more. Let it drive you to rebuild your integrity. Look in the mirror and ask, what am I proud of right now? What am I ashamed of? What would I change if I could start today fresh? The answers to those questions are your next steps. That's your strategy, not some perfect plan on paper, not some dream 5 years from now. Just real answers based on who you are today. If you don't like what you see, that's okay. But it's not okay to keep living as if nothing needs to change. You are not stuck with this version of yourself. You're just stuck in the comfort of not trying, and that comfort is going to destroy your potential if you don't wake up. This life is short. Time doesn't wait for clarity. You don't get extra days to get your head straight. You get today, and if you waste today lying to yourself, you'll repeat that cycle tomorrow. And eventually another year will pass, and you'll be in the exact same place, wondering why nothing feels different. You don't need more time. You need more truth. You need to stop saying I'm trying when you know you're not. You need to stop saying I'm okay when you're not. You need to stop saying I'll start tomorrow when you know you could start today. The mirror doesn't care about your excuses. It waits for your decision. Some people will go their whole lives avoiding this. They'll stay fake. They'll keep lying. They'll keep putting on a performance, hoping people believe it. But when they're alone, they'll feel it. The gap between who they are and who they could be. That gap is painful. But if you choose honesty, you can close it. This isn't about becoming perfect. It's about becoming real. It's about standing in front of the mirror and admitting where you're weak, where you're soft, where you've been lying to yourself, and deciding that you're done with that version of you, because the only person who can hold you back is the one in the mirror. You've got to ask yourself, am I really working on myself or just talking about it? Am I spending my time wisely or wasting it on things that keep me stuck? Am I walking with purpose or drifting through each day hoping something changes without my effort? Change doesn't start with motivation. It starts with awareness. And awareness starts with brutal honesty. You don't have to post about it. You don't have to tell your friends. You don't need anyone's approval. You need to know in your own heart that you're finally ready to do what's right. And if you are, the mirror will become your ally. Every morning, you'll meet yourself and say, I'm doing the work. I'm showing up. I'm becoming the person I said I would be. And that's when your confidence will rise. That's when your energy will shift. That's when your life will begin to move in the direction you've always wanted. But you won't get there by pretending. You'll only get there by choosing to face yourself fully. That choice is hard. It's uncomfortable. It doesn't come with applause or rewards. It's quiet. It's lonely. It's raw. But it works. So today, take a moment. Stand still. Look yourself in the eye. No distractions. No background noise. Just you and the reflection of every choice you've made. And say this, I know I've fallen short, but I'm not staying here. I know I've been afraid, but I won't let fear lead me anymore. I know what needs to change, and I'm finally ready to do something about it. That's where it begins, not with motivation videos, not with more books, not with external inspiration, but with the person in the mirror deciding that today, enough is enough. So don't wait, do it now. Look, ask, answer, act, because the more honest you are with yourself today, the freer and stronger you'll become tomorrow. Number 5, track where your time goes and cut the nonsense. Take a good look at how you're spending your time right now. Not what you planned, not what's on your calendar, not what you told others, but what you're actually doing with your hours. If you were forced to record every minute of your day for a full week, what would the playback show? Would it reveal discipline, clarity, progress, or would it show distractions, delay, and denial? You can't complain about your life not changing if you don't even know where your time is going. Time is not a mystery. It's not disappearing behind your back. It's being used by you every second, whether you realize it or not. And if you don't start tracking it, you'll keep losing it. Most people waste more time than they admit, not because they're lazy, but because they're unaware. They think they're being productive because they feel busy, but being busy doesn't mean you're building anything. Busyness is often just movement without direction. You can run in circles and feel tired at the end of the day and still be in the exact same spot. And if that's happening to you, it's time to stop and see where it's all going wrong. You need to track your time the same way you track your money, with honesty, with detail, with intention. Time is your most valuable currency, but most people treat it like it's free. They throw hours away on things that mean nothing, that build nothing, that add nothing. Then they wonder why they feel stuck, anxious, unfulfilled, and behind. The truth is, your calendar tells the truth about your priorities. If your time is being spent on entertainment, scrolling, complaining, gossiping, or just avoiding hard things, then you are not working on your future. You are feeding your comfort, and comfort is the silent killer of growth. If your entire day is eaten up by low-level tasks and meaningless distractions, don't expect high-level results. It doesn't work that way. Write down exactly what you did in the last 24 hours, every hour. Be specific, be honest. How much of it was spent building your goals? How much of it was spent reacting to things that didn't matter? How much was spent trying to look busy instead of being productive? Once you see it, you'll start to realize that the problem is not that there isn't enough time. The problem is how much time is being thrown away. And once you become aware of it, your excuses fall apart. You no longer get to say, I don't have time, when the truth is you're just not managing it. You no longer get to blame circumstances, when the issue is your own decisions. You no longer get to feel like a victim of your schedule, when you're the one in control of it. You have to be ruthless with your time. Just like you wouldn't give your money to anyone who asked, you shouldn't give your hours away to anything that doesn't move you forward. You can't afford to waste time anymore. Not if you want your life to be better a year from now. That means cutting the nonsense. That means being bold enough to say no. That means canceling things that don't grow you. That means deleting what distracts you. That means creating a schedule and actually living by it. When you stop letting every message, every notification, every invitation, every piece of noise steal your attention, you finally get space to do what matters. And that space, those focused hours, that's where your life starts to change. Start by identifying your time wasters. Is it social media? Is it watching meaningless videos? Is it checking your phone every 5 minutes? Is it constantly switching tasks and never finishing anything? Is it staying up late for no reason and waking up with no plan? Track every bit of it. If it drains your focus and doesn't feed your future, cut it. You don't have to go cold turkey on everything, but you do need limits. You need structure. You need to protect your time like your future depends on it, because it does. Every day you spend in distraction is a day you can't get back. And once enough of those pile up, you'll look back and realize that the life you wanted passed you by, not because you weren't capable, but because you didn't take your time seriously. It's not about being perfect. It's about being intentional. It's about waking up with a plan instead of waking up into chaos. It's about knowing exactly what matters today and blocking out everything that doesn't. You have to stop negotiating with yourself. You can't keep saying just one more scroll, or I'll do it later, or I'll start tomorrow. That thinking is how years are wasted. Set a time to check in with yourself every day. Ask, did I use today the way I should have? Did I build anything that matters? Did I do the things that align with who I want to become? If the answer is no, don't lie about it. Don't soften it. Own it. Then adjust. If the answer is yes, keep going. You don't need to overhaul your life in one day, but you do need to start protecting your time like it's the foundation of everything, because it is. Track your mornings. Are they controlled or chaotic? Track your evenings. Are they restful or reckless? Track your work hours. Are they deep and focused or shallow and scattered? Once you know, then you take action. You remove what needs to go. You minimize what doesn't serve. You double down on what matters. Cut the nonsense. That means stopping conversations that go nowhere. That means stepping away from people who drain your energy. That means saying no, even when it's uncomfortable. That means doing the hard thing you've been putting off. Because the more nonsense you allow, the less room you have for progress. The truth is, you already know what needs to go. You already know what's wasting your time. You just haven't been bold enough to cut it. But here's the reality. If you don't cut it, you carry it. And what you carry will weigh you down until you break or give up. Stop giving your best hours to things that don't build you. Stop trying to fit your dreams into the leftover scraps of your day. Flip it. Build your day around your goals, around your focus, around your values. Everything else comes second. This is not about doing more. It's about doing what matters. It's about removing the nonsense so you can do the right things with full energy and attention. That's how progress is made. That's how growth happens. Not through more effort, but through better direction. So don't just think about where your time goes. Write it down. Watch it. Guard it. Use it with intention. If you don't, someone else will use it for you. And at the end of the day, they won't be the ones living with the regret. You will. The clock keeps ticking whether you pay attention or not. Make it work for you, not against you. Make each hour count. Make each choice reflect your priorities. And when something doesn't belong in your life anymore, be strong enough to cut it. Track where your time goes. Then cut the nonsense without guilt. That's how you take control. That's how you stop drifting. That's how you finally move forward. The next year will be different only if your daily hours become different. Start today, not next week, not next month, right now. Number 6, do something hard today that you keep avoiding. There's something you've been avoiding. You know what it is. It's not a mystery. It's not hiding. It's right there in the back of your mind, bothering you every time you try to relax. Maybe it's a conversation you need to have. Maybe it's a task you need to finish. Maybe it's a change you know you should have made a long time ago. Whatever it is, it's sitting there, unfinished, untouched, avoided. And it's slowing you down far more than you realize. It's not just about the task itself. It's about what it's doing to your confidence. Every day you delay it, every day you make excuses, a part of you weakens. A part of you starts to believe you don't have what it takes to deal with your own life. Today, that ends. Not tomorrow, not someday when you feel more ready. Today. Because readiness is a lie when it comes to the hard things. You won't feel ready. You won't wake up one morning magically fearless. You'll just need to act despite the feeling. That's how real change happens. Not when the fear disappears, but when you decide it's no longer going to control you. You've spent enough time circling around it, making to-do lists, planning it out in your head, waiting for the perfect conditions. Meanwhile, this thing you're avoiding is draining you, making you feel stuck, making you feel behind. And if you don't face it now, it will follow you into next week, next month, next year, and you'll carry the weight of it like a shadow that never leaves. The mind is clever. It knows how to distract you with everything except the one thing that actually matters. It'll tell you to clean your room, check your phone, start something else, help someone else, anything but that hard thing. Why? Because it's uncomfortable, because it might be emotional, because it might expose something about you. But none of those are valid reasons to avoid it. In fact, those are the exact reasons you should face it. Do the thing you keep putting off, that thing you always say not today to. The longer you wait, the more power it has over you. Every day you avoid it, it gets bigger in your mind. It starts to feel impossible. But the truth is, the hardest part is starting. Once you start, momentum builds, confidence grows, doubt weakens. Maybe it's making that call. Maybe it's ending something that's not working. Maybe it's taking that first painful step toward a healthier life. Maybe it's sitting down and doing deep work without distractions. Whatever it is, it's yours to face. No one can do it for you. No one is coming to save you from it. This is your responsibility. And it doesn't have to be perfect. It just has to be done. You're not the only one avoiding something. Most people are. Most people spend their lives running from what they know they should do. But that's why most people stay stuck. That's why most people feel unfulfilled. Because growth doesn't happen in the easy tasks. It happens when you stop running from the hard ones. The task itself may be difficult, but what's harder is continuing to live with the feeling that you're avoiding your own growth, that you're capable of more, but you're not proving it to yourself, that you have potential, but you keep dodging the very things that would unlock it. That kind of life is heavy. And it doesn't get lighter by ignoring the weight, it gets lighter by lifting it. You don't need a full plan, you just need a decision to act, to move, to stop letting hesitation run the show. The moment you stop waiting for the right mood and start working through the resistance, you take your power back. Because nothing will change in your life until you get comfortable doing the things you don't want to do but know you need to do. And here's the part most people miss. When you do hard things on purpose, your life gets easier. Not because life itself changes, but because you change. You become someone who doesn't flinch at responsibility. You become someone who doesn't break under pressure. You become someone who finishes what they start. That's strength. And it's built in the moments when you least want to do the work. Doing hard things doesn't mean you're going to feel strong the whole time. You might feel scared, uncomfortable, even overwhelmed. That's okay. Do it anyway. Courage doesn't show up before the task. Courage shows up while you're doing it. You become brave by walking through fear, not by waiting for it to disappear. Start small if you have to, but start. The message you've been putting off, send it. The mess you've been ignoring, clean it. The problem you've been avoiding, confront it. The project you've delayed, open it. Action changes everything. It doesn't just get the task done, it changes how you see yourself. It proves that you are not the kind of person who gives in to fear, laziness, or resistance. There's a moment that happens after you do the hard thing, a quiet, calm moment. It's not loud, it's not dramatic, but it's powerful. It's the moment where you realize you can trust yourself again. You didn't avoid it. You didn't run. You didn't wait for the perfect time. You did what needed to be done. And that feeling, that self-trust, is what gives you the strength to handle whatever comes next. The most dangerous thing about avoiding the hard things is that it becomes a habit, and habits shape your life. If you get used to avoiding discomfort, you start to shrink your life around it. You start saying no to opportunities, challenges, relationships, anything that demands more from you. But if you flip the habit, if you start facing hard things head on, your life expands. You get stronger. You build grit. You move forward. So today is not just another day. Today is a turning point, if you make it one, not by planning, not by overthinking, but by choosing one hard thing you've been avoiding and doing it. Don't give it another hour of avoidance. Don't give yourself another excuse. Stand up, face it, and move through it. You'll feel the fear, but you'll also feel something else, relief, because deep down, your mind has been waiting for this, waiting for you to take action, waiting for you to prove to yourself that you can handle more than you think, that you don't need to run, that you're stronger than the discomfort. No one sees you right now. There's no applause, no spotlight, just you and that one thing you know you need to do. This is your test, and it's not about the task, it's about who you become by doing it. If you want to end this year proud of yourself, if you want to walk into 2025 with real momentum, don't avoid the hard thing one more day. Face it, finish it, free yourself from the weight of it. Do something hard today, not tomorrow, not later, today. Start now, and when it's done, stand taller. Not because it was easy, but because you chose strength over comfort. That's what real growth looks like. Number 7. Stop chasing people who don't care you exist. It's exhausting chasing after people who don't care if you're there or not. You spend your time, your energy, your attention, hoping for a text, a call, a sign that they think about you. You keep showing up, adjusting yourself, bending over backward, trying to earn their respect, their affection, their presence. But it never feels enough. Because when someone doesn't care, their actions show it loud and clear. You can't fix that. You can't change that. And the more you chase, the more you lose your own value. You were made to be wanted, to be seen, to be valued for exactly who you are, not for what you can do, not for how much you try, not for how often you reach out, but for being you. When you keep chasing people who don't care, you're giving your worth away for free. And that's the most dangerous trap of all. You start believing that you have to work for love and respect. You start thinking that your presence isn't enough, that you have to prove yourself, to beg for attention, to be someone you're not just to be accepted. The truth is, no one is owed your time, and no one deserves you more than you deserve yourself. Your energy is precious. Your attention is limited. Every moment you waste chasing after people who don't care is a moment taken from people who would fight to keep you. You don't have to beg for friendship, love, or respect. It should be given freely by those who truly see you. And if it's not, that's their loss, not yours. Stop pretending that their absence or indifference doesn't hurt. It hurts deeply. You can't ignore the feeling of being invisible or unwanted. But don't let that pain make you cling harder. Clinging to people who don't care is like holding onto a rope that's slowly pulling you down. The harder you pull, the more you lose yourself. You deserve relationships that lift you up, not drain you. You deserve connections where you're a priority, not an option. You deserve people who celebrate your wins, stand with you in your losses, and show up when it matters. Those are the people worth your time. Those are the people who will bring light into your life. And those relationships don't require chasing. They happen naturally because the respect and care are mutual. Letting go of people who don't care is hard. It feels like losing a part of yourself. But sometimes losing the wrong people is the only way to find the right ones. It's not rejection, it's protection. Protection of your heart, your mind, and your future. When you stop chasing, you create space. Space for better friendships, space for healthier relationships, space for people who truly value you. There's power in choosing yourself first, choosing to walk away from anyone who makes you feel small or invisible, choosing to stop explaining yourself to people who don't want to understand, choosing to stop hoping for change from those who have shown you who they really are. That's not selfish, that's self-respect. You don't need to send another message that goes unanswered. You don't need to attend another event where you feel ignored. You don't need to keep hoping for a change that's never coming. The moment you decide to stop chasing is the moment you start taking your life back. Chasing people who don't care teaches you nothing but disappointment. It drains your confidence and clouds your judgment. It makes you doubt your worth and question your value. But when you stop, You give yourself the chance to heal, to grow, to become stronger. You give yourself the chance to find peace without constant validation. Your life will never improve until you stop making people who don't care a priority. Because as long as you chase after them, you're ignoring the people who actually matter. The ones who show up, the ones who listen, the ones who want to be there, the ones who would never make you question your worth. You don't have to convince anyone to like you. You don't have to prove your value through endless effort. Real relationships are built on mutual respect and genuine care. If you're the only one trying, you're wasting your time. And you're teaching others that it's okay to treat you like an option. You deserve better. You deserve love that feels easy, respect that is consistent, and attention that's sincere. And the first step toward that is to stop chasing people who don't care you exist. Let go of the need to be noticed by everyone. Let go of the fear of being alone. Let go of the guilt that makes you stay in toxic cycles. When you do this, you'll notice something powerful happens. You start attracting the right people. Because energy follows where attention goes. When you stop chasing, you free your energy to be invested in yourself, your goals, your growth. And when you value yourself enough to walk away from what doesn't serve you, you send a message to the world that you're worth more. Chasing people who don't care doesn't make you less alone. It makes you feel more alone. But choosing yourself, protecting your time and heart, and valuing your worth creates space for genuine connection. It's the only way to build relationships that last and nourish you. You don't have to wait for someone else to see your value. You already have it. The people who matter will see it too, without you having to chase. You just need to stop running after the ones who don't. The next time you feel the urge to reach out to someone who has shown you they don't care, pause. Ask yourself if it's worth your energy. Ask yourself if it feeds your soul or empties it. And then make the hard choice to stop chasing. Because your peace is worth it. Your happiness is worth it. Your life is worth it. Stop chasing people who don't care you exist, and watch how your world changes when you start chasing your own worth instead. Number 8. Unfollow anyone who makes you feel not enough. There are people in your life, online or offline, who make you feel like you're not enough. They may not say it out loud, but their presence, their words, their attitudes send a clear message. Maybe it's through comparison, judgment, subtle criticism, or constant negativity. Maybe it's the people whose posts, comments, or conversations chip away at your confidence. These influences don't just affect your mood for a moment. They shape how you see yourself over time. They create doubt where there should be certainty. They plant insecurity where there should be pride. And that damage is real. If you want to step into your power before the new year, you need to take control of what you allow into your mind. You must be willing to unfollow the voices that don't build you up, the ones that leave you questioning your value. This isn't just about social media. It's about anyone whose presence drains your confidence or makes you feel less than what you are. If someone's influence makes you feel small, slow, or stuck, it's time to remove them from your mental space. It's easy to say unfollow and harder to do, because some of these people might be family, old friends, colleagues, or acquaintances you see regularly. But emotional and mental health requires boundaries. You wouldn't keep broken glass in your pocket. You wouldn't keep poisonous food on your plate. So why keep people or influences in your life that poison your self-worth? That's not selfishness, that's survival. When you continue to expose yourself to people who make you feel not enough, you are telling your brain to focus on your weaknesses instead of your strengths. You start believing their silent messages. You compare your beginning to their middle or their highlight reels. You catch yourself thinking you don't measure up, you're behind, or you're failing. And before you know it, your energy is spent on trying to be someone else instead of becoming the best version of yourself. Cutting ties with these influences is liberating. It frees your mind from unnecessary pressure and distraction. It gives you room to focus on your own journey without comparing, doubting, or trying to prove something. You start to hear your own voice again, instead of the noise that tells you you're not good enough. Self-worth is not built on external approval. It's built from inside. And you can't build from inside if your environment keeps tearing you down. Removing negative influences is one of the most powerful steps toward reclaiming your confidence. It's like cleaning out a closet that's been stuffed with clothes that no longer fit. You have to make space to bring in things that serve you. This process is not just about unfollowing on social media. It's about unfollowing in your mind. It's about refusing to engage with criticism that isn't constructive. It's about ignoring voices that feed your fears instead of your faith in yourself. When you stop paying attention to what drags you down, you naturally rise. You might feel guilt or fear when you cut these ties. That's normal. Maybe you worry about hurting feelings or being seen as cold, but your well-being is more important than avoiding discomfort. You don't owe anyone a place in your life if their presence harms your growth. Real relationships don't make you feel small or insecure. They make you feel supported, encouraged, and strong. Notice how your energy changes when you remove these influences. Your mind feels clearer, your confidence grows. You stop overthinking what others think. You start to trust your own judgment more. You stop trying to fit into molds that were never meant for you. You begin to create space for positive, inspiring people who celebrate you as you are. When you choose who you let influence your thoughts, you take control of your story. You decide what to believe about yourself. You decide how to respond to criticism. You decide how to protect your peace. This is not a one-time action, but a daily commitment to your mental health. Your time and energy are precious. They deserve to be invested in things and people that help you grow, not in those that make you question your worth. This means being honest with yourself about who and what you follow. It means being brave enough to hit unfollow, mute, or walk away. It means recognizing that your self-respect is more important than approval. You will never be able to build a strong foundation if the voices around you keep shaking it. To grow, you need calm, encouragement, and respect. Surround yourself with influences that remind you of your strengths. Remove those that make you feel less than what you truly are. When you do this, you're not just unfollowing others, you're following your own path with confidence. This isn't about perfection or pretending you never feel doubt. It's about refusing to let others' negativity control your life. It's about choosing to believe in your value even when the world doesn't shout it loudly. It's about knowing your worth and acting like it every day. When you stop allowing people to make you feel not enough, you open the door to greater peace, clarity, and self-love. You stop shrinking to fit their expectations. You start expanding to fit your own dreams. And that's how you begin to live a life that's truly yours. Unfollow anyone who makes you feel not enough. Protect your mind like your life depends on it, because it does. Your future self will thank you for making this choice today. Number 9. Spend one full day without lying to yourself. Spend a whole day without lying to yourself. That's a challenge that few dare to take seriously, because it means facing your truth head on without hiding behind excuses, justifications, or convenient stories. You live your life every day with little lies, small ones that make you feel better temporarily, but keep you stuck in the same place. You tell yourself you'll start tomorrow. You tell yourself that you're too tired. You tell yourself that the situation is out of your control. These lies feel harmless in the moment, but over time they build walls that block your progress and blind you from who you really are. Imagine what it would be like to spend just one day being completely honest with yourself. No pretending, no sugarcoating, no hiding. You'd confront your fears, your failures, your weaknesses, and your habits. You'd admit where you've been lazy and where you've been distracted. You'd stop blaming others for your problems and start owning your choices. This kind of honesty isn't comfortable, but it's necessary, because change begins with truth. You can't fix what you won't admit. The lies you tell yourself often come from fear of failure, fear of rejection, fear of pain. It's easier to believe that you don't have time than to admit you're avoiding the work. It's easier to say that conditions aren't right than to accept that you're not ready to push yourself. It's easier to blame others than to look in the mirror and see where you fell short. But those lies create a false reality. They keep you trapped in cycles of disappointment and frustration. When you spend a day without lying to yourself, you break those cycles. You see things clearly. You recognize the excuses for what they are. You hear the quiet voice inside that's been drowned out by denial. That voice is your real self, the self that knows your potential and is tired of hiding it. This is where real growth happens. When you stop running from your truth and start facing it, you open the door to real change. Being honest with yourself also means being kind but firm. It's not about beating yourself up for past mistakes. It's about seeing them clearly and deciding what to do differently moving forward. It's about recognizing where you fell short but not using that as a reason to give up. It's about accepting that you have flaws and still choosing to act in spite of them. Honesty isn't judgment, it's clarity. Try this for one day. When you catch yourself making excuses, stop and ask, is this true or am I lying to myself? When you feel tempted to delay action, ask, am I avoiding this because it's hard or because I'm afraid? When you blame someone else, ask, what part of this is really my responsibility? This kind of questioning rewires your thinking. It pushes you out of autopilot and into awareness. The more honest you are, the easier it becomes to make decisions that actually serve you. You stop wasting energy on things that don't matter. You stop settling for less than you deserve. You start aligning your actions with your real goals. And that alignment is powerful because it creates momentum. When your actions match your true intentions, you move forward with confidence. This kind of honesty also strengthens your relationship with yourself. You learn to trust your own judgment because you're no longer hiding from your feelings or your reality. You become your own ally instead of your own enemy. This trust is the foundation of self-discipline and resilience. Without it, progress is fragile and temporary. With it, progress is steady and lasting. Spending a day without lying to yourself is uncomfortable. It's uncomfortable because it forces you to face truths you've avoided. It's uncomfortable because it demands courage and accountability, but it's also freeing. You experience relief from the mental clutter of denial. You gain clarity on what really needs to change. You feel a spark of motivation because you're no longer lying about where you are or where you want to be. This practice doesn't end after one day. It's a habit you build by choosing honesty every time you catch yourself making excuses. It's a commitment to live with integrity, not just in how you treat others, but in how you treat yourself. When you do this, you stop sabotaging your own success. You stop waiting for conditions to be perfect. You start creating the life you want based on reality, not illusions. The world around you will not always be honest. People will lie to you, mislead you, and disappoint you, but your power lies in the truth you hold inside. The more you live honestly with yourself, the less power external lies have over your mindset and your actions. You become grounded, focused, and unstoppable. One day of honesty might not fix everything overnight, but it starts a chain reaction that leads to real transformation. You see what needs to change. You understand your obstacles better. You feel the urge to act instead of wait. You realize that the biggest barrier to your success has been your own denial. Stop lying about your time. Stop lying about your effort. Stop lying about your priorities. Stop lying about your feelings. Stop lying about your goals. When you do, you clear the fog. You gain clarity. You build a foundation for the future you want. This is not easy. It's not comfortable, but it is necessary. And the reward is worth the discomfort. A life where you are honest, accountable, and in control. Spend one full day without lying to yourself. Watch how that honesty shifts your mindset, your actions, and your life. The truth is your greatest ally. Use it wisely. Number 10, list what you hate about your life and fix it. Take a moment and write down everything you hate about your life. Don't hold back. Be brutally honest. It might be your job, your relationships, your health, your habits, your mindset, or even your daily routine. Whatever it is that pulls you down, drains your energy, or keeps you from being happy, list it all. This is not an exercise in complaining. It's an exercise in clarity. You can't fix what you don't clearly see. So start by exposing what you dislike without excuses or distractions. It's natural to avoid thinking about what we hate. Facing dissatisfaction head-on is uncomfortable, but discomfort is necessary if you want change. Living with things you hate is like carrying a heavy weight every single day. That weight slows you down, wears you out, and steals your joy. You might have learned to live with it, but living with it doesn't mean it's normal or acceptable. It means it's time to act. Once you've written down what you hate, don't stop there. The list is just the start. The next step is fixing it. Fixing means taking responsibility. It means understanding that no one else is going to change your life for you. Your future depends on your actions. Your happiness depends on your decisions. You might not be able to control every situation, but you can control how you respond. Fixing your life is about reclaiming that control. Look at each item on your list and ask yourself, what can I do about this today? Some things might feel too big to tackle all at once. That's okay. Break them down into smaller steps. Focus on what you can change now. It might be setting a boundary with someone who drains you. It might be waking up earlier to exercise. It might be applying for a new job or ending a toxic relationship. Whatever it is, make a plan and commit to taking at least one action. Fixing your life also means changing your mindset. Sometimes the biggest thing we hate is not the situation itself, but how we think about it. Negative thoughts keep problems alive longer than they need to be. When you hate your life, you might start believing you're stuck, powerless, or undeserving of better. That's a lie. Change your story about yourself and your circumstances. Replace "I can't" with "I will try." Replace "this is impossible" with "this is hard, but I'm willing." Your mindset is the fuel for your actions. Feed it well. You will face resistance. Change is hard. You might feel fear, doubt, or frustration. You might want to quit or go back to old habits. That's normal. But hate can also be a powerful motivator if you use it wisely. Let your dissatisfaction push you forward instead of holding you back. Let your desire for a better life drive your discipline and effort. Remember that every step you take is progress, even if it's small. Fixing what you hate means setting boundaries, not just with others, but with yourself. Stop tolerating bad habits, toxic people, and unproductive routines. Stop accepting less than you deserve. Say no to distractions, and yes to your goals. Protect your time and energy like your life depends on it, because it does. Your list of what you hate is also a list of opportunities. Opportunities to grow, improve, and transform. Every problem has a solution, if you're willing to find it. Don't wait for someone else to fix your life. Be the one who fixes it. Take control of your story and rewrite it. This isn't about quick fixes or magic solutions. It's about steady, consistent effort. It's about facing your fears and moving forward anyway. As you work on fixing your list, celebrate your wins. Each problem solved, each habit changed, each boundary set is a victory. These victories build momentum and confidence. They prove to yourself that change is possible. They remind you that you are not a victim of your circumstances, but the architect of your life. Don't let the fear of failure stop you. Fixing your life means trying and sometimes failing. It means learning and adjusting. It means being patient with yourself. Progress is not perfect. It's messy and slow sometimes, but it's real. Keep going. Finally, understand that fixing your life is a lifelong journey. There will always be new challenges and things to improve, but if you start now by listing what you hate and actively working to change it, you will create a foundation for lasting happiness and success. You will stop feeling powerless and start feeling in charge. You will stop being a bystander in your own life and become the leader. So take out a pen and paper right now. Write down what you hate about your life. Then commit to fixing at least one thing today. That commitment will change everything. Your future is waiting for you to take control. Don't waste another moment. Start now. The choice is yours. Keep going as you have been, or take these 5 steps before 2025 begins and change your life for the better. Real growth requires action, honesty, and the willingness to face what's uncomfortable. Don't wait for the new year to arrive before you decide to take control. Start now. When you commit to these changes today, you set yourself up for success, clarity, and peace tomorrow. Remember, the future is built on what you do today. Take these steps seriously and watch how your life transforms as the new year unfolds.